So you know it's just these two here, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
All
right.
Great uplifting content.
Doing a little training. Welcome, Facebook folks.
Download the app on either Apple or Android devices.
Good morning.
It's the difference maker in your daily walk. ChristianRadio.com.
This is Business 1110.
The following program, paid for by Right Path Real Estate, does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership.
Speaking of training.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today.
Welcome to the show. I'm surprised my voice is not gone after last night. Just talking so loud.
Get ready. The guide that will put
Got
your
our little-
fears behind you is on the air.
Oh, nice.
Taking calls
Yeah, I like it.
713-785-1817.
Nice.
Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host.
I feel like I'm going to be in a lot of the photos from. Hey, welcome to the
All right, fellas, here we go. Hot mics.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817 if you want to call in. I always feel like if you're watching on the Book of Faces, I'm not making good eye contact with you guys in Facebook land right away because I'm getting all the computers up and going and all of that, getting all the electronics going. So we're going to talk about real estate today. But, people always come up and they say, hey, Tom, I watch you on radio. I enjoy watching your radio show every day, which I always, I've mentioned before. That sounds a little strange.
Which is, hard to hide when you have a face for radio.
Right.
And they can see you.
Yeah, right. I know.
It doesn't work.
I have a face made for radio and a voice made for print, but we have a good time anyway.
Absolutely.
Right. And so we want to, we want to help people get control of their financial future. I've had so many conversations in the last month or so. When I say, hey, do you have money in a 401k? Yes, I do. Do you know what stocks you own? No, I don't.
What surprises me about that, because I've started doing that myself,
Yeah.
and I've witnessed you do it so many times.
Sure, right.
And it's become a game for me. Like, I have a conversation with a person first.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, this guy, he's bright.
Yeah,
like,
this
of
guy is
course he knows.
super smart.
Like,
Yeah.
this guy, if anybody knows,
Yeah.
he's going to be one of the 5%ers,
Sure, right.
And, man, I tell you what, so many times it's like, well, I know I'm in mutual funds,
Yeah.
but I don't know what stocks the mutual funds own.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So no wonder people's retirement plan is really a hope and a prayer.
Yes. That's not a strategy,
It's
though.
not a strategy, right. And then you start explaining to people. And I talked to a really bright guy last night, or yesterday afternoon on the telephone, and just really kind of walking him through. Guy makes a really good income. I mean, like not low six figures. I mean, he makes
Okay.
a great income, and he's in sales, and he's just he's great at what he does. I mean, he's got like a 67% closing ratio.
Oh, wow.
I mean, yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
And he's made so much money that he's got some tax concerns, and
Yep.
so he's trying to put away in an IRA, and so he's calling Quest Trust and getting that up and going, But I started talking to him about, and he's like, man, if I could put money in the market and just get 4 to 5%, because he literally had a conversation with an Edward Jones person,
Yeah.
a quote unquote expert, and they said, yeah, you can count on 4 to 5%, and he's like, well, I mean, but what I've always been bothered by is that the stock advisors, they tell me to buy something after it's already run way up, and then they tell me to sell something after it's gone way down. And shouldn't they be telling me to buy before it goes up, or telling me to sell before it goes down? And this was her comment. Look, you're just gonna have to trust me because I'm the expert.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's so scary.
So now who's got control?
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, I was just going to say, so, if you're saying that you got to count on 4 or 5%, and you look at going out what 4 or 5% does versus
Long term.
Yeah, long term
Right.
versus what people can get at 20, 25, 30, 35%. And so you actually, we talked about private money lending. We talked about investing in the market. We talked about, if you don't even know what you own in a mutual fund, and you have to recognize that buying stock is just buying a small portion of a company,
Yes.
right? That you're essentially buying the company. at some evaluation. It's literally your opportunity that if you don't have $1 billion, to go in and buy your portion that you can afford of $1 billion company, right?
Yeah.
But what makes a company worth $1 billion? And what I would argue is it's profit, right?
Yeah.
And so you've heard me give this example before about a flower shop, or it could be a machine shop, or any kind of business. Pick any business and let's bring it down into more realistic numbers, because I think sometimes people get lost, like how big the national debt is. It's in the trillions, and how much how much of what a market cap is of that Apple is almost it's crossed $1 trillion market
It
cap
has,
before, right?
yes.
So, oh my God, they're certainly worth a lot, right? So they must be a good deal.
Must be.
Right. Well, but what's the price that you should really be paying for that? And so we give this example that because you're really buying revenue, right?
Yes.
And so would you pay $1 million for $1 million of profit? And most people say yes. And then we say, well, what about $2 million? And we start comparing that's a price divided by earnings. But it's also a rate of return, right?
Yeah.
That if you'd get 100% rate of return if you paid $1 million for a business that produced $1 million, provided that it's passive. Because when you buy Apple stock, for example, nobody at Apple is calling up and saying, hey Tom, what do you think we should do about hiring that new marketing manager?
They don't call for help with HR issues.
No, they don't. They don't call. They don't say, we're shopping for new health insurance plans. What do you think? You think Blue Cross? You think United Healthcare? What's your?
Yeah.
They're not calling. Even though I know a lot about that.
Yeah, they get a lot of phone calls.
They
right?
don't call and ask those kind of things. So imagine that you had a flower shop that was making $1 million a year. Would you pay $1 million to buy that if it was completely a passive investment? And everybody says, yeah. Well, it's fascinating to me. A lot of people say no initially because they're like, well, I couldn't write a check for $1 million.
I don't have $1 million.
Right. And so, then we get into that, well, can you borrow against it? And I find here's something really interesting. This is an aha moment I came up with recently, and I think you've heard me say this, but isn't it fascinating that if I wanted to buy, let's say, $150,000 of Exxon stock, and I go to my banker and go, hey, I want to put $30,000 down and pledge the stock against, that would you lend me, because I really only have $30,000 and I want to buy $150,000 worth of stock. Would you lend me the 120? I mean, we're talking about Exxon. Even if it's Apple, I mean, we're talking about stinking Apple stock.
It's safe.
It's not like Apple's going anywhere,
Yeah.
right? So why do banks not loan against? But they will loan against real estate.
They will.
So why will they not loan against Exxon stock? I mean, pick any blue chip stock out there.
I think you got to look at it like this. The self-collateralizing asset. It's if you fail to perform,
right?
They get, even if something happens in the market, they get to go and take that house,
Yes.
right?
But they could take your stock certificates, couldn't they?
Well, if Apple fails,
Yeah,
though,
right, yeah.
Do they get to go in and start picking up office furniture and when they take the stapler,
No, they don't.
It's gone,
Right.
right?
But you figure that stock is going to be. I mean, Apple's going to fail? I mean, come on.
I
mean, like Kodak would ever fail?
Kodak would never. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. They did. Oh,
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. You mean so technology could come into the future that would replace something that you think like film? Like, look, what's going to make film go out of business?
I don't.
Digital?
I just gave away
What's
about
gonna make
300 DVDs
Yeah.
because I couldn't sell them for $1.
Yeah. What'd you do with your 8 tracks your mama gave you?
Tore them apart and stretched them out.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah. What's so funny if people don't realize is that 8 tracks really only had 4 tracks, so I don't know why they called them 8 tracks. People that don't know 8 tracks don't really know that though. And what would be so funny is because like you get to the end of a track and then it would go click, like even if it was right in the middle of a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to flip it over.
Yeah, those are good times. Those are memories there.
I mean, I can distinctly remember having to rewind the whole tape with a pencil.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta find the right size pencil to fit in there.
Yeah, remember you probably don't remember when cassettes came out with the automatic auto reverse. We're just like it. Never mind.
No.
Yeah. Anyhow, we're
Sorry, a little reminiscent there.
Sorry, we'll get back to real estate. So here's what people don't realize. We've had people come into our free Wealth Through Real Estate workshop, and they're like, wait, you mean that they'll, like, banks, like mortgage companies will actually lend on real estate just because it's real estate? And I'm like, yeah, because it's a that's a great word.
Collateralizing.
Collateralizing asset means that they're going to look at your credit. They'll look at your income. They'll look at those things, but they're more concerned about the asset itself.
Yeah.
It's not like getting a loan on a stock, But the other thing is that we teach people how to buy at a discount to what the market is. So
Yes.
if you're buying a $150,000 house, yeah, you can go and buy it, pay full price. And, we've shown, I've got an illustration where you can show people making, 35, 40, 45%
On a fully retail house.
on a fully retail, right? So
But
what happens when
we
you
go
buy?
deeper than that.
Yeah, what if you get a $150,000 house for $130,000? It's literally like, what if you had options to buy Exxon stock, not at $100 a share,
2 minutes.
but you were able to buy it at $80 a share? I mean, you're locking in an instant. Now, I tell you, one of the best things about a 401k is the matching
Yes.
that employers do. I mean, it's tough to go wrong with that. Although, I mean, I've known people that have put $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 over a period of time into their 401k, and their employer has matched that. So in other words, you put in 10, your employer puts in 10. Now you should have 20, but you get that statement that's covered in red,
Yeah.
and you don't know what's in there, and now you got 5.
Yep.
So it's like your 10 plus their 10 equals 5.
Not sure how that mess up.
Yeah, well, we know that it happens. So, hey, good morning. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Billy. Good morning, Ashley. Good morning, Mary, Jeremy, Daniel. Oh,
I'm right here.
You're right here. How are you watching, too?
It's crazy.
Hey, good morning, Christina.
Chris is on from up in Denver.
Yeah, that's right.
What's
So,
going on, Chris?
So what we're looking at is, imagine what just if you know how to run an amortization table where you can in reverse where it's not like you would a mortgage, right?
Yeah.
But an investment today, at 5% interest, what does that equal to in 20 years? And the calculators will allow you to say, hey, we're going to add this much, every so many years, right? So look at what is $30,000 invested at 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, 30%. I remember when I was in elementary school, there was this exercise that they had kids do, and it was, would you rather have $10,000 a day every day for a month, or a penny today, 2 pennies tomorrow, 4 pennies the
Double
next
every
day,
day for a
double
month.
every day for 30 days? And what's that difference? That's the power of compounding. So we'll talk more about that on the other side of the break. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Stay tuned.
Mic's off.
I bet we can just look that up and not have to actually.
Hello, real estate investors.
Jackie, what's going on?
Do you
We
need
met
a
your buddy
lender that
yesterday.
moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties
Good morning,
quickly
Marlette.
with as little
Tammy.
cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also
Justin.
sets up a repair escrow fund
New
to
Jersey.
help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value.
I didn't
cost of
see,
repairs, and potential loan
I didn't
amounts.
see this guy
Jet
there
Lending
last
is
night. I
your
saw
fast and
Johnny.
friendly hard money source for first-time
Yeah, Johnny
investors.
was there. I don't think he was there.
Call 281-872-7800.
Here, you can write on that. Just- I'm gonna keep
email
this
us at
Yeah.
info
over here from
at
me.
jetlending.com. Oh, and don't
So
forget
it's,
about our
that
famous
number.
Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's
So
leading real estate
it's either
risk management
300 or
Benchmark Insurance
that
Group
number
of
there,
Texas.
huh?
281-569-4353.
It'd be more than 3. It'd be 3 million.
281-569-4353.
You said
or online
10,000?
at
Yeah, times 30.
benchmarkbroker.com.
Yeah. Oh, there's 300. Yeah, 300,000.
Do you
and
have
five-
cracks
yeah.
in your brick?
I was like, damn, is my
Doors
math that
missing,
off?
Or sheetrock
Mine
that's
is.
coming apart,
Which is
then you
not
may have
typical.
foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils
Friday.
in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary pier work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer.
Jacob, you got any deals going on right now,
Remember
man?
to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
You found our
Justin
inherited
Mathis.
investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth.
Welcome,
or more
Justin.
importantly, what to do to maximize your
From
investment while
New
mitigating
Jersey.
risk. This
It's
is
New
exactly
Jersey.
why we
New
started
Jersey.
Next Gen
Where they sit on the
Appraisal.
quad and watch
Next
the
Gen
boys
is a
joint.
group of appraisers specializing in investment
Nice.
real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market.
Uh-oh.
Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911.
This just doesn't-
Your lid's not tight.
Check
This
us
just
out
doesn't look
online
right.
at Nextgenappraisal.com.
Yeah, you know, it's the funny thing about these plastic bottles. I
looking
guess
for an
they've gotten so
investor
cheap.
friendly
Sometimes the
general
bottoms aren't
contractor for your
flat.
investment
That's
property?
always entertaining.
Then
Yeah.
call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992.
I think it's interesting
or
to
reach us
drink
the
this on
web
the
at
air,
fasttrackremodeling.com.
And tell people I'm not
Fast Track Remodeling
recycling.
specializes in turnkey
Not
remodeling
recycling.
of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental
Well,
rehab,
if you had to
we
survive.
manage every
Yep.
aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us
What's
to
she
create
looking at?
our 3 keys to success.
I don't know.
Use a detailed scope
We were-
of work so that everything
I was laughing
gets
so
done.
hard because I just
Train and
photobombed
maintain
those
quality
people
work
right in front of
I know,
us.
right? Yeah.
Right.
I
And we
know.
were still laughing about that.
Right.
Order, so it gets
Yeah.
We
done
were trying to get the
fast.
picture. It's,
No
I
more
don't know what
managing
she
it
was
yourself,
doing,
no
man.
more
Right.
doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at
And those people came up to me and found me about 2 hours
Yeah,
later.
yeah, I remember that.
Again,
They're
that's
like, "Yeah, well, you bombed us."
832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Yeah.
It's like-
This is
it's
business.
not too often guys my
1110.
size are good at photobombing, but man, I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate. So we're talking about compound interest. In fact, you know, Einstein has reportedly have talked about that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world.
Yeah.
And he said those that understand it make it, like earn it. Those that don't understand pay it.
Yep.
And so we were talking about the doubling of a penny. And if you had $10,000 a day for 30 days, you'd have $300,000. Or if you had a penny the first day, then 2 pennies the second, then 4 pennies the third. Now, keep in mind, by the third day, you'd actually have 7 pennies, right?
Yeah.
1 plus 2 plus 4 is 7. And then you'd have 15 on the third day because you'd go to 8. And you keep doubling that. You'd have $5,368,709.12. Yeah, I Googled that. I didn't actually do the math during the break. So, I mean, so you're talking about 300,000 versus 5.3 million. If you get 100% rate of return on a daily basis, just starting with a penny.
Yeah.
So, but the rate of return matters. So I want you to just do the math. If you started with $30,000, and you can leverage that 5 to 1.
Yeah.
So you can actually go from a 7% rate of return to a 35% rate of return just because you take that. If you had $150,000 to invest, you could either buy one house, and if that appreciates 7%, you're going to make $10,500.
Yeah.
But what if you divided that $150,000 into 5 $30,000 chunks and bought $550,000 houses?
Now you're getting the exact same appreciation times 5.
Yeah, now you're getting like 52,500.
Yeah.
So what would it? I mean, just imagine 10 years from now getting $10,500 a year in appreciation, which is about $100,000.
Yeah.
Versus 52. I mean, it's a 5x.
Yes. Yeah,
So-
so after 10 years, you're out about $400,000.
And that's assuming that you don't pull cash out.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Redeploy it. And, because you'd have the ability to do that, pull cash out, redeploy, buy more houses. Now it's going even that much further. Not only that, but people say, yeah, but you're making more cash flow. And you're really not, because you would make about $300 a month per house. Times 5, you'd make about $1,500 a month if the houses were renting at $1,500. Yeah, we estimate you'd have about $1,200 in principal, interest, taxes, insurance, adding an extra $50 a month plus for just miscellaneous, and $100 a month for management. You'd have about $1,200 a month. So you'd lose principal and interest
Yeah.
if you were doing that but you wouldn't lose taxes, you wouldn't lose insurance, you wouldn't lose the $50 miscellaneous, you wouldn't lose the $100 on management. So you'd actually it'd go from like $300 to like $1,200.
12, not 15.
So,
though.
but right, you'd be like $300 short in terms of cash flow with that same $15,000 or $150,000 of
so
investment.
with one house completely paid off, not only are you making less cash flow, but you're also losing out on 80% of the appreciation.
Yeah, so I don't want to get real deep in the weeds, but it's the mindset that causes you to make the decisions, that causes the actions, that causes the result. And so if you had $150,000 to invest and you do it one way and you get like about a 9.6% cash on cash return and about a 7% appreciation, so you're at about 16.6, let's call it 17%, which by all means is not bad.
No.
But you could do it a different way and deploy the exact same $150,000 and increase your cash on cash to like 12% and increase your appreciation because of leverage to like 35%. So I don't know about you, but I mean 47% versus 17% is.
It's not a tough choice.
It's not when you think about it, but I don't. What's mind-boggling to me is really, really smart people are now buying into the market, not knowing what they. I mean, can you imagine here? I'm pull out $200 and here I want to buy something from you, but don't tell me what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's one thing to do it with 200. It's another thing to do it with, $5,000 a year for 10 years. I mean, imagine, hey, here's $50,000, but don't tell me what I'm buying.
Yeah. And you're the expert.
Right.
So I know you're going to give me back more than I gave you.
But who do we know that has had over a long period of time just a huge win on a 401k? I mean,
you don't hear those stories.
No, I mean, I'd love to talk to somebody. I mean, what we don't have really is, because I know 40 years ago we didn't have 401ks like we have today. So we don't have a 40-year track record with 401ks. Exactly. Because, it was pensions. Oh, man, I'm sorry. So pensions went from, a defined benefit plan to a defined contribution plan where we're defining how much we're putting in on a monthly or annual basis. And so that caused a lot to pour into the marketplace. In fact, more dollars than there really are assets to buy, which is why the market's gone up so much. And so then the question is there anything on the horizon that might cause the market to go down? And I think there is. I mean, I think as baby boomers are getting older.
Yeah.
And, and they are, it's those people born from 1942-ish to like 1964. Yep. I mean, I'm at the tail end of the baby boomers. But that time span, they're getting older, and if they start pulling their money out of the marketplace to pay for things like healthcare or retirement, all those kind of things, is that going to put more selling pressure? And if you have more selling pressure than buying pressure, so is now a good time to be in the market? And I would argue no. But is that same scenario going to cause changes in housing? And I went to a party last night. We were there together. Great photo. Patton Law Firm, an amazing party. Christmas party. It was awesome. And I'm the guy on the left.
He's the guy on the left.
Yeah, right. So great party, but I decided to take a lift there because I didn't want to worry about downtown parking and walking from the garage and all that. Just take a lift. Well, the Lyft driver, been driving for Lyft for like 3 weeks.
Okay.
But he's not originally from Houston. I love to get people's story, and he's from a place in Mississippi. I mean, small place, and he said, "Man, that place is just dead economically."
Yeah.
And that the word is out around the country that if you're living in an area that is dead economically, guess where they come? First, they come to Texas, but then a good percentage of those end up in Houston. Well, what does that mean for real estate? It means that they're not making any more affordable. They're not making any more what I call cheap houses, like $150,000 houses. So if you can buy all those $120,000, $130,000, $140,000, $50,000 houses, even up to $175,000, $180,000. I mean, that to me is where I feel like the sweet spot for rentals are. And when you understand the power of leverage, that you can leverage appreciation, you can leverage your cash flow, I get excited. I mean,
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
I feel like I'm preaching. I
Yeah.
get excited that and the issue is that when you see somebody get it and the light bulb goes on and they realize, like Moni, for example, she'll be our case study speaker
Next Thursday, yeah.
next Thursday, and you hear her talking about, I really thought that I was on this track to retire in like 22, 25 years maybe.
Yeah.
And the question isn't, at what age do you want to retire? It's at what income, right? So when you start thinking, and again, just like the same way that so many people that are coming to our free Wealth Through Real Estate workshop, they're smart people,
Yeah.
really, really smart people. And yet they don't know what they're buying in their 401k, which is really interesting to me. They also aren't really thinking about retirement.
They're not.
They're not. It's
Because
not really on their radar.
Their expert,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Their expert has told them, "Hey, you're 30 years away."
Right.
And if there was a better way, wouldn't he tell me?
Yeah.
Right. If real estate was better, he'd tell me. Here's what's crazy: we had a guy in the room the other
Yeah,
day.
right.
The reason he was there,
Yes.
is because his financial advisor, and this is my first time hearing a story
Yeah,
like
right.
this, but his financial advisor said, "Hey, I'm gonna hurt my business by giving you this book," but he gave him a book by Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah,
right?
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yep.
And now the guy's in our room, and he knows that he's in the right spot.
Yes,
now.
he does.
But he wouldn't have been there had that guy not given him that book.
That's
and I
exactly
guarantee
right.
you, financial advisors are not handing that book out.
They're not. No. So all that's to say, now some people say, but Tom, I don't have the 30,000 or I don't have the 150. How do I do that? Well, we'll teach you how to flip. We'll teach you how to wholesale. We've had several students that have done, our first wholesale deal in Houston House Buyers, was a $47,000 assignment fee. And yes, that's legal. And, some people, is it legal?
On one deal?
I know, on one deal. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, that first thing, that was a paradigm shifting moment for me when I realized that, oh my gosh, I have the ability to have a conversation with someone else and literally earn $47,000 by providing value to the marketplace.
Yes,
and
exactly.
and then I know so many wholesalers that are out there struggling to make, 5, 6, 7,000. We
I
talked
was having
about
a conversation
last
with,
night, right?
Last night,
yeah.
man, and it's like
We'll see if they call today.
we'll see.
You're right.
But it's when I brought up to those wholesalers last night. I said, are you making more than 6% on these deals? And they're not. It's
No,
like,
right.
Why
and
aren't you a
why
realtor?
6%? Share that. Why?
Because, I mean, that's what realtors are making. 3% on the buy side, 3% on the sell side. If you're a wholesaler and you're not making more than a realtor would make on a deal, go be a realtor.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for you to get business as a realtor than it is for you to get deals as a wholesaler.
But it's not as cool to say that you're a realtor. No, I think it is, honestly, because for me, it's not about being cool about what I say I do. What's cool is cashing the check.
Yes.
I mean, that's
Absolutely.
so if I could make more money being a realtor than being an investor, I'd be a realtor.
Absolutely.
And so for some people, they would make if they because maybe they're they don't have the skill set to be the investor.
Yeah.
But they do have the skill set to be a realtor. Let's face it, 95% of the properties sold in the marketplace are sold through realtors.
Yes.
Only about 5% are sold through investors.
So there's a lot more inventory available
lot
to
more.
the retail.
And so one of the things that we teach you, and you're saying 6%, what we say is, if you take the median home price in Houston, that's about $250,000 for easy math. 3% of that's $7,500.
Yes.
Is it easier to go and help 3 buyers a month to find a house to live in that they want to live in that are $250,000 houses? You've made $22,500. That's
it's not a bad income.
Most wholesalers aren't making anywhere close to that. So and what we're saying is that would be easier to find 3 people that want to buy or 3 people that want to sell retail a house. And convince them that you're that person. That would be easier. I know we went over this on the weekend workshop, but forgot because we went over so much information. I have a friend that has a lot of cash to invest, but doesn't want to be a super hands-on, doesn't want to be a lender. I try to get him to be a see more. I tell you what, we're gonna keep reading this through the end of the break.
We'll answer it after the break.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks for staying tuned. We'll be right back. And another.
Mike's off.
The answer is yes.
Time is money in a real estate deal.
Yes,
if your
indeedy.
insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose
So
a deal like
we can.
that.
You want to read that over the air?
Yeah, I sure do. Yeah,
The agency
I will.
For that is
Yeah,
Benchmark
'cause that
Insurance
is
Group of Texas.
fact, I had
The
a.
team at Benchmark
We'll
understands
talk
the
off
investor
air
mindset.
about something else.
They
soon
know
as
what
this
you
ends.
need and when you need it.
Yeah,
We're here for
I'll
you.
give you the short answer
Are
now,
you a
Andrew, but he's
rehabber,
going to read the question
wholesaler,
and
Yeah.
buy and hold,
answer it
deliver?
over the radio. But the
Bundling
short
your
answer is
properties
that's
on a
why
single
that
policy
exists.
will
Yeah.
help save time and
In
money.
fact, even the way it
Benchmark has
exists
been in
now is
business
about
for
ready to
10
change in a
years.
major,
We insure
major
over
way because we're going to
30,000
add some extra
Contact
features.
Benchmark about our
Because the way it
exclusive
works right
investor
now,
pack.
there's still
Call us
some
and let us show
activity
you what we
that's
can do for you
required
at
by the investor.
281-569-4355.
A little bit anyway, you know,
That's
and so
281-569-4355.
I want it to be as turnkey as like all you got to do is
That's
is turn on the utilities.
That's
Because that's hard to outsource to somebody else
Yeah.
because it's hard to call on behalf of someone else and activate water, gas, electric, but everything else can
Fellow
pretty
real
much
estate
be
investors,
automated.
you need a lender
Yeah.
that
And
moves
I'd like to
fast
be able
at
to
the
make it
speed
that
of a jet
turnkey.
to fund your
Nice.
investment
Yeah.
properties. Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible.
What's going on, Rob? What's up,
Jet Lending
Raymond?
also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs.
Yeah, Andrew, we try and
Jet Lending
cover
is your fast
a little
and
bit of
friendly
stuff.
home source for first-time
Little-
investors
little bit.
and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com.
You know what I am? Are your ears ringing today?
You found or
Are my ears
inherited
ringing?
a
Yeah,
great
'cause it was-
investment property.
'cause it was kinda loud last night.
How
It was
much
very
it's
loud.
worth,
Are your
and
ears
more
ringing?
importantly, what to do
they're
to
very,
maximize your investment
like,
while mitigating
clogged up.
risk.
Oh, okay, got
This
it.
is
Yeah.
That makes
exactly
sense.
why
Yeah.
we started Next
Mine aren't
Gen.
mine aren't bugging me that
Next
much.
Gen is a
No?
group
I
of
made a
companies
really
You
wise.
got the headphones in.
investment
The
yeah,
earphones,
that
not
right.
headphones.
We understand
Yeah,
that
they're called
investors aren't
acoustic
just looking for a
filters.
number of
They're
what
not
the
they're not
property is worth, but
earplugs
comprehensive
because that just
analysis of the
muffles
market.
everything. You know,
Yeah.
then you
Next
just
Gen
kind of hear
call
wah
at
wah 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 wah.
713-346-9911
But these are, man, I have to say, if anybody ever
or
goes
check
to
us
loud
out online
venues,
at nextgen
Sporting
Yeah.
events and
Yeah.
concerts and all
Yep,
that kind
right.
of stuff.
And
You're
I wear
looking
them.
for
I wear them at
investor-friendly
baseball
general
games, at
contacts
football
for your
games, that kind of
investment
stuff.
property.
Anytime that's gonna be
Then
really
call
loud.
Fast Track
Yet
Remodeling at
I can hear people talking right next to me.
832-742-9992,
And
or
you can
reach
still
us
hear
on the web
music.
at
You can,
fasttrackremodeling.com.
I've worn them at
Fast Track
U2
Remodeling
concert. I
specializes
mean,
in turnkey
any
remodeling
places that it's going to be
of
super,
single-family
super
investment
loud.
properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from
When
start
was
to
your last
finish with
U2
a
concert?
highly efficient, standardized
U2?
process.
Yeah.
Over
The last one that was here.
Fast Track
Okay.
has
Yeah, when it was here.
completed
Oh,
over
I think we-
700 projects,
Yeah.
which has
We
helped
knew-
us to
I knew you were
create
going to
our
that.
Yeah,
three
yeah.
keys to
Yeah.
success. Use a detailed
Yeah, I
scope
went
of
with
work
Jeff
so that
and
everything gets done. Train and maintain
there were
quality
4 of us that
crews
went.
so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today
Yeah,
at
yeah,
832
yeah, Andrew, that's
742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Yeah, in fact, that would be even better than.
Do you have
One
sheet
minute.
brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart?
I mean,
Then
the
you may
the
have
returns are better
foundation
than
movement. Due
being
to our
a.
expansive soils
It's
in the
not
Houston
quite
area,
as
it's really
passive
not a question
as
if
being a
you have
lender,
movement
and we'll talk more
to
about it.
win.
But
Call Foundation Check for a truly independent.
I won't read that
unbiased
personal part, although it's
foundation
posted.
evaluation.
It is.
It is on
Foundation
Facebook.
Check
It-
has been
it
in
is on
business
Facebook,
since
right.
2009.
But you're not giving out
has
names or
completed
any of that,
over
but-
1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before ever repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825.
Oh,
Or you
man,
can
I
reach
like
us
that so
online
much better.
at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
This is Business 1110.
Hot mics.
Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and talk now. Hey, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. I'll just tell you that I'm a professional real estate investor, and I'm a I like teaching what I know. I'm not a professional radio guy, so if you're expecting it's the knowledge, not the way it's delivered.
So I'm going to read a question that came in over Facebook.
Yeah,
and
do
we'll
it.
let Tom talk on it.
Yeah.
All right. I know it's a guy that came to the weekend retreat recently, and he's got a friend. He says he knows we went over this over the weekend workshop because we covered so much information, but he has a friend with a lot of cash that wants to invest but doesn't want to be hands-on. He's not interested in being a lender, but he does want to invest in real estate. He doesn't know anything about real estate, and is our passive investor network something that would work for him, even if he doesn't know anything about real estate?
Yeah, the answer is yes and absolutely. I mean,
Yes and absolutely.
Yeah, yes and absolutely. In fact, that's exactly who this is designed for. I mean, I think I look at Moni as a great example.
Yes.
You know, she got started, and you know, she's right in the heat of, you know, quarterly reports and all of that. She works on a contract basis for Fortune 500 companies, really helping them produce their quarterly and their annual reports. You know, taking all that massive amount of financial data and then boiling it down to, you know, that paragraph that an investor would read, where it has to make sense. It has to be first it has to be SEC compliant.
Yep.
And so that's one thing, and then secondly, it has to be, you know, honest. I mean, really. So I mean, so accurate.
English.
Yeah, it has to be accurate. Yeah, and it has to be something understandable by the average investor, not somebody, you know, with an MBA necessarily, but you know, the you know, any average, you know, stock investor that oftentimes doesn't even know that they own the stock, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
So, and outside of her personal residence.
Yeah, she had never ever bought a piece of property before.
She had never been to any real estate events.
No,
she
right.
had never had any kind of training or reading or
but
anything.
But she did come to the weekend.
She did.
Even so, she got the groundwork there so that she understood. So, you know, at most, if he could invest, you know, that 16 hours, and then to go from that, you know, within 30 days, she had, you know, she started. She's got more than this, but she started with about $50,000, and she bought her first 3 houses, and with leverage and all of that, and you know, we helped her with the inspectors and the appraisers and the lenders and, you know, all of that kind of stuff, and the contractors, and so she captured $100,000 in equity with that $50,000. So she essentially in 30 days. You know, here's 50, and I get back 100. You know,
wait.
Yeah, right. And she turned 50 into 100 in 30 days. So that's a 100% rate of return in 30 days. Now your results may vary. I mean, this is, you know, it's you know,
individual cases.
I'm not. You know, I feel like I need to put the disclaimer, you know, right there and all that. I'm not promising it's going to work for you like that, but. I mean, you come pick her brain this Thursday. Next Thursday.
And not just hers, but there will be a lot of other people there that have found success doing what we do, and you'll be able to talk to those guys as well.
Yeah.
And here's my question, Tom. How many times do we have to see the same results produced before we can stop disclaiming it? Right?
Yeah, well,
it's just, I mean, it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's like when you know something.
Well, because I know there's going to be some guy out there that
guy,
doesn't
right?
follow what you're saying to do, but then wants to not look in the mirror and say, I didn't do what they said, and then therefore, you know, I didn't get the results that there are other people. So I just, you know, I don't want to get sued like that. Yeah. Not that I would, you know, but anyhow, so you're saying, yeah, you know, he's busy and all of that, but she turned 50 into 100, but not only that, now she's got 3 rental properties, and 2 of them are already rented, and the third one's under construction.
Yes.
And she said, you know, Tom, I've not even completed construction on that third one, and I've already got it pre-leased, where I've got the money and the deposit and all that, and it's a 2-year lease.
Oh, wow.
So as soon as the construction's done, I mean, they're moving in, so there will be no vacancy time. And so she's created it'll be about $1,000 a month of passive income. And her goal, like she, you know, again, at the weekend we talk about, don't think of retirement in terms of an age, think of it in terms of a number. And so I said, well, what's your number? And she goes, well, you know, I've not really. I mean, I think if I got to $6,000 a month, I mean, I could retire.
Yeah.
And so 6,000 is her number, and she thought, well, I thought it was going to take me like 25 years to get to 6,000.
Just got 20% of the way there.
Yeah.
In 30 days.
Yeah. She got 1/6 of the way there. I mean, she's only got, if she did that, if she can do that in 30 days, could she do it the next 30 days? She could.
She could.
And then could she do it the next 30 days? And then could she do that every 30 days for 6 months? I mean, literally, I mean, I know that we said, hey, we've got a plan that we can get you retired in 5 years or less, depending on your situation.
Yeah.
I mean, hers is a lot less. I mean, she wants to stretch that out over a 2-year plan. You know, she doesn't. But then I said, you know, Moni, what's going to happen is you're going to get to, you know, you're going to keep working during this time period, and you're making good money now. And then you're going to add an extra $6,000 a month, and she won't really need the extra, because I know she's not going to go out and buy, you know, Lamborghini, or she's not going to go buy $1 million house or anything like that. And so now she'll have this extra $6,000 a month coming in. And what I see a lot of people do is, you know, after 5 months of that 6,000, you got another 30 grand, right? You go buy another house.
Absolutely.
So, and then that starts snowballing. So then she can, another 30, she buys another house, and another 30, she buys another house, and then.
I think it's important to realize that when you say, during the weekend retreat, we have people pick a number.
I'm gonna raise
right?
this just a little bit. Yeah.
We have people come up with a number, and I think a lot of people, when they think retirement, the problem is they're thinking on such a broad scope that they can't focus. What do you need? Don't think of the word retirement. Think of financially free.
Right. Yes.
How much do you need a month coming in without you going to work to cover what you have going out?
That's another thing I'm surprised with. When we ask that question,
people don't know.
They don't know.
But at that point, you're free to make choices.
Right.
Do I want to go to work? Do I not want to go to work? Like, that's a different kind of conversation to have with yourself in the morning.
Yes.
When you look yourself in the mirror and know everything you're doing today, you do because you choose to, not because you have to.
Yeah, and that's the thing I said to her is what would life look like if you were only going to work not because you had to, but because you wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, no other reason. And if you wanted to stay home, you could. If you wanted to go to work, you can. And that changes the mindset so much. And so anyhow, she in 30 days added $1,000 a month to her income. And that's imagine if your boss walked in today and said, "Hey, 30 days from now, you're getting $1,000 a month raise."
What?
Yeah. What? Can you do that? Is that? Yeah. So you could do that in 30 days. She did. And you can too. A great way to get started, if you have the time, is we talk about a lot of this for an hour. Not just on the radio show, but we do a Wealth Through Real Estate workshop. In fact, our next one is going to be next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday at 6:30.
Today's Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, today is.
Yeah. So next Tuesday at 6:30.
Yeah.
It's going to be right here in our offices. But Tom, how do I sign up for that? Well, all you got to do is go to rightpathrealestate.com. And that's rightpathrealestate.com and register. It's free.
Is that negotiable?
It's not.
Okay.
I've set. I met with my economist, and they said that free was not negotiable. That's all. I mean, can't go down from that. Can't go up from that. It's stuck at free.
All right, we're stuck at free.
We'd have to do a lot of website reprogramming, and that's not free, apparently. So we're just gonna keep it at free. And that's the start. And if anybody wants to come to that, just go to rightpathrealestate.com. But we're going to do another one on Thursday. And once a month, we make our Wealth Through Real Estate workshop a little bit different. It's not only the Wealth Through Real Estate workshop, but it's also a case study. And every month we have a new student come forward and kind of tell their story, or sometimes it's a student that has been a case study before because their story updates, like Blake and Caitlin, for example.
New things happen.
Yeah, new things are happening. So we knew their story like 5 or 6 months ago when they were a case study then, but now it's 6 months later and they've got to update their story because I won't make the announcement on the air or anything like that, but the way we tell it is kind of funny. But they might be the story for next month because their story has changed that much.
Yeah.
And in fact, somebody asked us at the last free Wealth Through Real Estate workshop, how many people are in our group? And I say, it's really, for us, it's not about the number because it's not as big as some of the other national real estate groups. In fact, it's not as big as the event that happens the third Wednesday at the Redneck Country Club.
Nowhere near that big.
But what I'll say is it's a group of action takers.
Yes.
I think that the number of properties that our group is buying and the knowledge that we have that we share back and forth is kind of like a mastermind is it's incredible the number of deals that our group is doing for the size. I mean, I don't know of another group of any size that's doing collectively as many deals as our group is.
Definitely not locally.
No, right. So, and it's gone, and thanks for the answer. I knew y'all's name. I threw y'all's name out there and see if, appreciate that. All right, so thanks, Andrew. So 1 minute left. Go to rightpathrealestate.com. That's rightpathrealestate.com. And register for that event. And I just want to say one more time, thanks to Ashley Patton and the Patton Law Firm. That's plfpc.com. That's Patton Law Firm. I said that kind of fast. Patton Law Firm, PLFPC, like professional corporation.com. They're a great title company. and all of that.
They
and
know how to throw a pretty good party
they,
too.
They know how to throw a dang good party. So it was good times. It was great seeing so many folks. And in fact, Alex Cedillo, it was great seeing him.
Yeah.
Got a chance to give him a big hug and say, hey, man, in this business, you're in business for yourself but not by yourself. And sometimes, like, Alex is a competitor.
Yeah.
But, love the guy.
Yeah.
Glad he's still with us. I don't know if he's listening or not. Maybe somebody can tell him that, gave him a shout out. But it was great to be able to give him a hug because he's had some stuff happen, and we're just glad he's still here. So
Absolutely.
The music says I'm out of time. We'll be right back after the break. Thanks for staying tuned.
Mike's off.
Who sent a photo?
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive,
Was that from
you
last
lose a
night?
deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders.
On
the
what?
agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group.
Did somebody send a photo?
The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for
That's
you.
funny.
Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help
It's,
save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package.
Oh, got it.
Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
And he was talking about when you were talking about your lift.
Yeah.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor
That's
for your
funny.
investment property? Then call Fast Track.
No, this guy had a much
Remodeling at
easier name. It was like,
832-742-9992,
Marvin or something.
Or
Yeah.
reach us on
Not
the web
Bluetooth.
at
No.
fasttrackremodeling.com.
Bluetooth.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling.
What-
of
what'd he say?
single-family
Just call me,
investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every
I
aspect
remember
of the
laughing
rehab
so
from
hard.
start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years,
That's
Fast
funny.
Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our
Like, just
3
call me
keys to
Bob or
success.
George or something.
Yeah.
Use a
It
detailed
was
scope of work so
Bill
that
or
everything
Bill,
gets
maybe.
done. Train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for repair is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated. However, Foundation Check utilizes professional engineers to review all of our files to give you the best foundation analysis in today's market. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-30.
Mr. B.
That's
That's
what
what it was. Mr. B.
That's what. Just call me
Foundation
Mr.
Just
B.
call me Mr. B.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, that's
Hello,
what it
real
was.
estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves
Andy
fast
remembers
and
better. He had
but
less
yet
cocktails
to fund
that
your
night.
investment property? Jet Lending will
Yeah.
help you purchase properties quickly with as
Just call
little
me
cash
Mr.
out
B.
of pocket as possible. Jet Lending
Oh,
also
that's-
sets up a
that's
repair
nice.
escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans
Oh,
in
nice to
Texas,
sharing it.
valued at
Yeah.
over $250
No, they're
million.
saying they liked the video I
Jet
shared.
Lending will help you evaluate
yeah.
your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and
Mr. B.
potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Dang it. How come I can't click
He
on?
found or inherited a great
30
investment
seconds.
property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
This is Business 1110.
All right, guys, hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. Last segment, about 4 minutes. Hang in there. We've been talking all show about wealth through real estate. And that's really what we help people do. And what I recognize is sometimes people come in with a predetermined plan, but it's not based on where they're trying to get to a year from now, 3 years from now, or 5 years from now.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we focus on, is really deciding. When you leave, you'll understand quite a few things that you have to know in order to be successful. So one of the things you got to know is, what's your time worth? Another thing that you've got to decide is, where, income-wise, where do you want to be a year from now? And, we've had students literally that in a year's time have added $1.5 million to their net worth. Now, that's not like $1.5 million in checks to them.
Yeah.
This is $1.5 million in terms of their net worth.
Building their wealth.
Building their wealth, right. But then they also added $130,000 of passive income. And the beauty in that is that passive income is going to continue to produce $130,000 or more. As rental rates go up, it'll produce more, but it's about $130,000 a year, every year, year after year after year. And not only did he capture the equity, in other words, it's the amount that he paid versus the amount that the properties are worth. There's that spread there, and so enough equity to equal about $1.5 million. But then the appreciation on just those properties will be about $400,000 every single year. So imagine, learning by thinking outside of the box a little bit. Actually,
2 minutes.
Putting conventional wisdom aside and understanding switching to the wealthy mindset and understanding that, hey, if you add $1.5 million to your net worth, and you add $130,000 to your cash flow, and you add $400,000 in appreciation, in 1 year's work, 1 year's effort, you made $1.5 million, and you're gonna that effort is, it's almost like, if you had an oil well that was, all the effort gets put in the drilling, right, and then it starts producing. And if you lease the land, if you're the land owner, you get a royalty check, right? So it's a little bit like, and you're going to get a big check when they first lease it, but then you get a royalty ongoing
as long as it's pumping. And
this is like that. It's like that royalty. It's like it just keeps on going, and the work's already done. Really, the work's already in the ground, so to speak.
He'll continue to benefit over $500,000 a year off of that 1 year's efforts.
Yes.
1 minute.
Okay, so if any of this is resonating with you, if you go, you know what, Tom, I feel like right now I lack control in my financial plan, and I want to take a look at creating wealth through real estate, either actively or passively, then all you got to do is go over to rightpathrealestate.com. That's rightpathrealestate.com. Register for our free event, or you give us a call, 281-888-9555, 281-888-9555.
30 seconds.
And just ask to speak to somebody about, how do I get on the right path towards building confidence in my financial future. I really want to, that's what we do, is we help people feel confident about their financial future. And if you don't know, if you've not already set a plan in place to get what it is that you're trying to get, oftentimes people don't have a plan because they don't know what they want.
And let's say even if you do have a plan, but you don't like the end of that plan, let's talk.
Hey, guys, thanks for staying tuned. I hope you have a great weekend. Jason will be in the studio on Monday and Wednesday of next week. Daniel will be in on Tuesday, and I'll be back on Thursday. So thanks for listening. Y'all be safe. Good golf, good tennis, or whatever makes you happy.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right, fellas.